Welcome to Bright by Your Side with Jen, up leveling in the age of anxiety here on Transformation Talk Radio. We are talking about clearing the clutter and calming the chaos. 3 easy steps to improved health, wealth, and relationships, and why mental and physical clutter undermine your energy, finances, and ultimately your business's bottom line. And that's serious. That's serious, guys. So I'm so excited. Today's guest is a multiple international best-selling author and speaker known as the One Lady. That's ONE. She helps ADHDers and a few good non-ADHDers clear their mental and physical clutter so they can create a new, calm, productive life in 90 days or less. That's amazing. As CEO at Declutter the Brain, she has shared her step-by-step one decluttering system at events at Stanford and Harvard universities, on multiple podcasts, and in national magazines, including the Los Angeles Tribune and USA Today. So please help me welcome the one lady herself, Kitti Andrews.
Thank you, Jen. Thanks for having me.
So yeah, I was kind of surprised that you had the finances in there. How it undermines your finances and your business's bottom line. So let's hear about what got you started to become the queen of decluttering.
Oh, good. Well, actually, frankly, I was told to. I know that's not you want to hear some long story about how I grew up with clutter all my life and all of this kind of stuff. No,
Oh, it works. Okay.
I was phasing out of, and this does have something to do with it. I was phasing out of a real estate staging slash cleaning career, and my coach said, well, what about online decluttering? Now, this was back in 2017, 2018, when online really wasn't as much of a thing as it is now. In fact, there were three other practitioners in the world that I could find, one in Australia, one in United Kingdom, and one in North Carolina. And I thought, okay, well, let's try this, because as it was turning out, it's a less intrusive, more focused way to get rid of 30 years of clutter. In other words, you don't have to clean for the cleaning lady. So basically, it's kind of it was kind of an accidental discovery, which has turned into a journey down the ADHD pathway, and
Right.
which we can talk about, and or as you wish. And it's been a very interesting adventure.
I have to say, I don't have a cleaning lady because we would have to clean for the cleaning lady. That's one of the things my husband and I are like, yeah, but then we gotta, it's so this actually kind of hits home. Um, I am a recovering. I have hoarding tendencies, right? I grew up without a lot of money, a single mom, working mom, and it's just like, I have a tough time like purging. Every once in a while, I'll get into a thing where I just start do binge purging, but then I'll try stuff on like, it's okay. And I start keeping so I really do try to donate a lot. We have bags of stuff in the garage to donate, but it's a struggle. It is a struggle to get to that point where to be a minimalist. I would love to be a minimalist someday. So, okay. So the ADHD thing, I do want to talk about that. Is that what you found in most of your clients, that it was a symptom of ADHD?
It, a related challenge, shall we say? Now,
Right.
when I started this, I was doing it for about a year. Then someone that I had gone to business school with she reached out to me and said, "Would you be a guest on my ADHD podcast?" And I didn't know what it was. I mean, visions of Ritalin boys were dancing in my head, kind of thing. I
Right.
just
Yeah.
didn't know what it was. And she told me, she explained it to me, and I said, okay, fair enough. Why me? She said, "Oh, I spotted you a mile away. You're one of us for sure."
Right.
Oh, okay. Read, Google, Google,
Right. A little
Google.
diagnosis, quick diagnosis right there. Wow. That's
Fast
amazing.
forward. We did the podcast, and I guess it's very highly rated, and but I got a few I got a couple of clients out of it, and then some people who had listened to it joined a webinar that I did a couple weeks later, completely unrelated, and I was reasonably new in the publicity business as far as anything is as that went, and I had already started to wonder why most of my clients, when I was first, for the first year or so, they felt like my sister or brother from another mother. We had the same tendencies of, oh, I've got to leave it out because if I don't have it in
Out of
front of
sight,
me,
out of mind. Oh my
yeah.
God, I think I might be part of this team. So, I wanted to ask, so why is that part of why people get discouraged when they start to declutter? Is that part of that whole thing? That's the ADHD tendencies, or is this another aspect of it? Because it is really hard.
It is absolutely, and a large part of the ADHD personality can be a tendency to be an overachiever. I should be able to. Why can't I? What's wrong with me? And of course, if this is reinforced by your boss or your spouse or whatever, you never do this,
Right.
why you right, then the self-esteem comes, it starts to go down, and you just start to get overwhelmed and say, why even bother? Your motivation goes down because you don't think that you can. However, once you do start, you mentioned in the intro about mental and physical clutter going hand in hand, and they do. And I'd love to share with you a quick example
Yes.
of how
Yes.
that could be. Now, usually today is not a good example, but usually on Monday, my kitchen counter is completely clear, the kitchen island. It's kind of a to-do station,
Right.
and everything is done by Sunday night. Well, um, let's just pretend that it is okay. Uh,
I believe you.
Now, by Wednesday, it's starting to look not as lemony fresh as it did on Monday morning. And I'm tired. I'm starting to get a little frazzled. And then I give it a tidy and a wipe on Wednesday night. And magically Thursday, my energy is back. I feel this breath of fresh air, which, from a feng shui point of view, decluttering does bring in fresh energy, no doubt about it. Any book on feng shui I've ever read is you will tell you that really you've got to declutter. It's a good idea to declutter before you attempt feng shui. And
Well, and the science is there. I mean, everything, we are all protons and neutrons. Everything has energy. The rock, the counter, all of these things. So then when you start adding all of these other things, you have a lot of
oh,
extra energy in the room. And we not only do we resonate, but we are receivers of sign of energy and all of this everything around us. And that so that does absolutely affect our perception of our surroundings, which then kind of overwhelms us if we have that. And that's the once you declutter, you do have that sense of accomplishment, which is kind of what I had always just been. Oh, I just feel really good about having accomplished this when I
yes.
clear an area. Um, but I do now realize that there is an energetic level to having all of this stuff around that is overwhelming.
Oh, completely. And what happens is that overwhelm either there are two sides to what you just said. The either the overwhelm or the sense of accomplishment. Both of those, of course, they're going to affect other areas of your life, your health, your wealth, your relationships. They're going to carry over, aren't they?
Yes.
The energy will just it will carry over to the other areas of your life, and that's where when you wanted to know about why it says bottom line, many ADHDers are entrepreneurs. Or many
Mhm.
entrepreneurs are ADHDers, so did you take your
Right.
pick. And when you start to feel overwhelmed with your surroundings, you don't feel as in control
Mhm.
as you want to, as you should. You come to the client call or the discovery call, and
Exactly. Yeah, you're looking around,
right.
you're scattered. Yeah.
And does that inspire confidence on the part of the other person, or more importantly, in yourself? Is it because
Right.
that conveys everywhere to your spouse, your boss, your if you have what your kids even. We're not
Hmm.
even going to go down that
I
road.
know, I know children of hoarders, and it's really tough on the whole family. But the hoarder themselves, or just the person who lives with this clutter, I mean, they don't want people coming over to the house. I mean, they know inside that they're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with themselves. And that eats away at you. That creates that anxiety, that lower self-esteem. Even though you can't let go, you can't part with these things, even if they're kind of trash. It really does affect your mental health.
I have to
Absolutely.
share a phrase with you that my longest term client says, it might come in handy. That's
Oh,
exactly the
I
way she
know.
said
I
it.
know.
Might come in handy someday.
I was
Right?
totally addicted to that show, Hoarders, because I
Yeah.
knew people who had parents that were their homes were like that. We were never allowed in. And then one time you kind of sneak in to use the restroom and yeah, you're like, oh no. So, and the Hoarder show, it was amazing is that, on the outside, they seemed completely capable. And then it was all just kept inside. And so you can just imagine what's going on in their head, knowing that they have this big dark secret in behind that door. So we're going to take a break and we're going to talk about your one system. We're definitely going to talk about the money too. Like, I really want to hear how it really helps financially than just like the boost in your confidence and the clarity. Um, and then how to maintain your organized space to be the most productive. So we're going to take a quick 1 minute break. This is Bright by Your Side with Jen and on Transformation Talk Radio. We'll be right back. Thanks. Welcome back to Bright by Your Side with Jen. We are here with the one lady with her one lady system, Kitti Andrews, our declutterer, and we're going to now learn about the system. And as we go through the system, I think it's going to be clear how this benefits your mental and your physical life around you, meaning your productivity, your business success, all of these wonderful things out there that we are all trying to master at the same time. So, welcome back, Kitti.
Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. This has been
Mhm.
wonderful so far.
Thank you. I'm just so excited to share this because again, I clearly have some of these symptoms, so I'm learning so much here. So let's hear about because it sounds like your one system is really simple. So it's just one. So I'm excited to hear how it works and yeah, let's hear it.
Thank you, thank you, and I'm proud to say that it is mine. Remember, there wasn't anyone else really in the world to learn from how to do this. I saw the lady in North Carolina. I saw her doing a Zoom consultation. That was all I knew about virtual decluttering. So I was kind of on my own when in 2018 when I started this. And my very, very first client, uh, she had a huge L-shaped desk that was at least, it was about a foot of papers, completely all over the desk.
My gosh.
And we started, and again, this is my first client. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. And so I said, okay, Julie, what is this piece of paper in front of you? And she looks at me like I'm from Venus and says, you're out of your mind. We are not going through this one by one. First client didn't know what else to do. I'd already taken her money. Well, she relented and she said, all right, I'll do it for a few minutes and grumble, grumble. And so she looks at it and says, okay, utility bill. I don't need, she starts to go through things faster and faster and faster. Why do I have bank statements? My accountant doesn't need them. I can get them online. Same deal with utility bills and and her brain
Nice.
was automatically finding other ways to deal with the clutter before it would even come in.
Nice.
And yeah, but
Yeah,
it
what a
started
relief.
with that one, yeah. It started with that one piece of paper on the one pile on the
Mm,
one area. And it evolved into the one system, which is basically in reverse order. One room at a time, one area of that room at a time, and one thing at a time. Do I have 90 seconds that I could explain?
yeah, for sure.
All right,
Yeah.
one room at a time means it is ill-advised to start in one room, say for example your office. I'll do a little bit in the office, then I'll go to the spare room because I know I'm bored, then I'll come back. Well, frankly, by the time you've come back to the office, you forget where you were. It takes a few minutes to get into character and
Yes.
and get
Yes.
into the flow. Whereas if you stick with the one room, then you not only do you stay in flow and it's more efficient, but you see that moment, you feel the momentum building, the
Absolutely.
little engine that could, right?
Yeah.
And so that is the one room at a time. One area. Do you have children?
I do. I have a grown daughter.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to ask you if you remember the little engine that could.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah, that's
well,
yeah, from my childhood too.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the kind of momentum that I was trying to describe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Uh,
I
and
think I
now you
can.
get, what's that?
I think I can. I think I can.
That's right. And then I know I can. I know I can. You can feel that power, right?
Yeah.
And then the next part of the one system is one area of that room at a time. Oh, by the way, with the one room, please don't start in the basement with the 30 years worth of Christmas decorations. Don't do
Right.
that to
Yeah.
yourself.
Right.
All right,
So true.
start with the smallest room, preferably, so
The
you can
easiest one, right? Yeah, get a small success first, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Get your quick wins under your belt.
Totally.
And then the second part is one area of that room at a time. Same exact principle. You could feel, you could see visibly when you stay in one area. It's not
Hmm.
easy, by the way.
Hmm.
But stay in one area, you can see your results more quickly and your confidence builds. Believe me, clutter starts between the ears all the time. And then the icing on the cake is the one thing at a time, just like I did with Julie with her one paper. You are not going, oh, that's going to take me forever. Well, you
Hmm.
know, what happens is your brain starts to see the repetition, it starts to see the why do I even have this?
Hmm.
Whether it's the basement or the desk with the papers or whatever, what was I thinking? And
Hmm.
you start going faster and faster. And again, your brain starts to search for ways that it's not going, that the clutter will not come in. Julie's final story was was that she used to have to get trade magazines for her coaching job, and uh, she we threw away I think it was about 8 magazines, and they were $8 a pop. She said, "Kitty, I was in the store and my arm automatically reached for that magazine, beep, 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 beep,
Yeah.
beep." And she said, I just threw away 50, $60 worth.
Yeah.
I'll buy it every couple of months.
Yeah.
And again, the universe, the brain searching the universe to, I know, woo alert, but it really does find ways that you can eliminate that clutter coming in. So that is the one system, as far as it relates to physical clutter.
Well, you said, woo alert because, you're kind of tapped in. And honestly, I think we're getting a little more familiar with being in flow. But also, we're
Mm.
also very much more familiar with the subconscious and how when you kind of command the subconscious, I have an intention, it will start to do things just like it answers questions in your sleep. It'll start working in the background and it might actually pop up for you while you're doing something, while you're doing the dishes and you're thinking, oh, I could just do this or that. One thing that I do, I have a tendency to, we just move things from one room to another room. So how do you remain disciplined? Or, even if you're an ADHD dear and you really get tired of being in the room and doing, like you said, you start with the one thing or the one area and you want to leave the area. You want to do, like you said, go to another room and start working there. Like how do you convince, do you have any like words that you tell yourself, look, we're going to do this. We're going to be disciplined and just like you just rah yourself back into that momentum when you're like, or would you allow yourself to take a break?
Take a break. And actually, you've made a wonderful, wonderful point because it can be difficult to just stick with the one area. It really can, even for me, because I get bored in a heartbeat. And I may not be seeing results as quickly, and I'm just sick of looking at whatever it is, the papers in the office. We'll just stick with that. And there, excuse me, there are two ways you can allow yourself to go into the other room. Um, just know, and as long as you know that it's going to take you time to get back into character in the original room. Another thing, another way to do it is just plain simple bribery. I'm not kidding you.
Oh,
You stick with it to just like it, to talk to yourself like a little child. I have done it this weekend, just yesterday. I did it. If you finish, da, 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 you can have some dark chocolate.
that's actually really good because I actually do bribe myself all the time getting my work done. Like, look, we're just gonna do this one thing, and then you can go outside and play. And you can go, out with your husband or whatever. Because it's
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
things about cleaning. Oh, we're running low on time here, so I would just say it's just you when you start seeing it, you'll start seeing what needs to be touched everywhere, right? So you just have to make sure you just know you're going to get to it.
correct. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's great. And the momentum is so important. And let yourself get in the flow, let your subconscious get involved, and you'll start coming up with like you said, great ideas and some extra little motivation that, maybe you don't need stuff. It's awesome.
Short bursts of activity, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
No more than 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Fit my calls last the attention span, of course, of a human is short anyway, like a goldfish, but you can hold on to it for about 45 to 50 minutes. And then after that, I strongly suggest that you either pack it in for the day or take at least an hour away from it.
Oh, now that is doable. So small bits, just kind of aim for one thing, one area,
Yeah.
one room. Give yourself a time limit, which feels good because you can only have 6 minutes left or whatever. It's great.
There's your bribe right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Exactly. Okay, so
How
we
many
we have
minutes?
I know totally. Okay, so Kitti has a giveaway, which I want to make sure that we share. So when you want to share with us your giveaway, the link is going to be down in the show notes. But tell us what you've got for us.
It is a PDF, 7 easy steps to conquer your physical and mental clutter.
Mm.
It's an evergreen it's an evergreen way. By that I mean you can use it for pretty much any job, any decluttering job, yours or someone that you care about, to not only get rid of your clutter, but keep it at bay for life. And the principles that are in it can also be applied very easily to mental clutter as well.
Mhm.
And the one system of, all right, I'm going to just deal with how many, Jen? One thing at a time.
Well, and people at work will think you're so disciplined too. If you're an entrepreneur, you'll get more done. And even if you're just like at work, people will be like, wow, look at you just really got through that. That was amazing. When
Yeah,
before it would just, pile up with other things. So that's fantastic. That's how it resonates throughout your entire life. So I'm so
absolutely.
sorry to say we are out of time, you guys. You can find Kitti at declutterthebrain.com.
Mhm.
Find her there, find her information. Again, we have the link in the show notes. And again, it's a new year. Let's clean up our clutter. Clean up. Let's clean out our minds. Let's start fresh. We'll be productive and disciplined. So, Kitti, I want to thank you for being on the show. Thank you so much. This was
Thank,
wonderful.
thank you for
And
having me, Jen.
yeah, that's my pleasure. We'll do it again because we need more time. As always, we need more time. Um, and to all of you out there, I really, really appreciate you spending your time with us. My name is Jen. I'm here to help. And this is Bright by Your Side on Transformation Talk Radio.